You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. All your questions coming in today on live, meaning you got to be subscribed or you're just not going to realize when we're live and tune in for our videos. $5 super chat from Cool Shark. You came here last time, Dak threw the ball away instead of taking a sack or throwing it into coverage. Always trying to make something happen. I do think there are times he's just got to eat the sack. I think that first interception against the Jags, great example. I know it's 2nd and 18. You're trying to make a play, and maybe the fact that your defense collapsed down the stretch is why it's happening, but take the sack sometimes. Now, it's a split-second decision. Dak said the exact same thing. He does a good job of avoiding sacks in general, and they tend to come on third downs when he's forcing things. But, yeah, sometimes throw the ball away. There have been a couple times where it's been not like a throwaway, but like it's an uncatchable ball in the area that's basically throwaway. But, yeah, sometimes eat the sack. MS Key the Queen. When is TY playing? Maybe this week. I wouldn't pencil that in stone. The Cowboys are ramping him up, but I would like to see him play against Philly to see what he can do. Joe Lynn, it's time to play the backups. Cooper Rush time. The answer is no on both of them. Now, for the Rush part, because you have a vastly better quarterback who's the number one scoring offense, like you don't say that guy. But if you can get to where you're locked into the 5 seed, I would rest some guys. In particular, probably think about resting Micah. He's not 100%. I think you'd use some extra breather there. If you want to rest some backups, yeah, but yeah, you've clinched the playoff spot, not the seed yet. You're going to keep fighting. Janitor Steve, why does Jerry want OBJ so much? He thinks OBJ is his next Deion Sanders. Jerry's always liked Odell Beckham. He saw Wade in the playoffs last year for the Rams. He wants to get OBJ as the big, sexy impact addition. The problem is, I think he's in love with the idea of Odell Beckham and not actually Odell Beckham. He's not healthy. If it is like a relationship, if Odell Beckham could contribute, I'd be all for it. I think Tank Lawrence said it best. If he's going to come in and help, let's do it. Otherwise, I don't want to bring him in. I'm not here for the circus. And it is a circus right now. It's annoying. I'm done with it. So figure it out. If he can play, cool. If he can't, I don't care. Try again in the offseason. What do you guys think, though? Do you want to sign OBJ? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section. The pinned comment, by the way, on today's video. So ad break comes here. Ignore it. While it plays, head down there, type in Y or N. Robert Bass. Tom, is the reason we lost on coach for not putting the last time out and attempting super low percentage pass. I think the problem here, and I wonder, and so at the end it kind of falls on McCarthy of, hey, get with Kellen and say, this is what we're doing. If you are going to try to go for the dagger and get the first down to win it, okay, that's fine. You ran it on 1st and 10, you ran it on 2nd and 13, and then you dial up. And I saw the all-22 play of it, by the way. Max protect 3 verticals. What are we doing out here, fellas? Run a drag route. I don't run a lower big play. Like, you're going for the jugular. We don't need to go for the jugular. It didn't make any sense. It was horrible play calling. Not the route you ever want to do it for the Cowboys. Bad play calling. If you just want to run the football 3 times, fine. I'm totally okay with that. If you want to throw it twice, do boot action on 2nd down, okay. You just didn't commit to either, and it cost you. But your defense also played terrible, so I blame them first, but that was a bad call by Kellen. He gets blamed too. RV3, why was Kellen stuck in shotgun, that stupid trips right formation? I need to go back and chart it. Did they run a pass out of that formation at all? Because I don't think they did. I think they ran that pistol, motion the running back, the bunch trips right, and ran it every time, or at least almost every time. Which, ooh, cool, new formation. You're not adding anything when you do that, and there's nothing to run a counter off of it. You need to have something, because it just says we're gonna run the football here. The spread them out, I get, but you got to have a pass play out of that, a play action out of that, or it just says this is our run play. I don't get it. If you guys want more free Cowboys videos, including our award-winning mailbags per Jeremy's fiance, make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos every single day right here. Kamari Hall, bench Noah Brown. I'm mad at Noah. You can't drop that pass. I don't think Washington is any better. That's a concern for me. I wouldn't mind seeing more T.Y. Hilton. I think Noah Brown's a receiver 4-ish, but you should also not be drawing up plays so much for your number 3 receiver right now. And really your 4th option behind Dalton Schultz. Doesn't make any sense. It's a lunatic. Bigger worry. MG13's drop-off or MIA pass rush? Ooh. Yes. At some level, it's what opposing teams are doing to you on the pass rush side. Like, a lot of quick game, a lot of misdirection, counters, reverses, screens, etc. I'm worried about the defense right now because that defense is supposed to be why you're a contender, right? It was supposed to be the defense carries you and the offense plays complementary football and controls the clock and does all that good stuff. Right now, the offense is carrying you. The defense has been bad past couple weeks. They got to get that figured out. I mean, you allow 40 points to the Jags, 24 to Houston, and like they run the ball on you, they're throwing on you. Like I would probably say the pass rush long term. I'm worried about Gallup too. I think he'll get better, but he's missing a half step, and it's showing because he's not getting separation. And that's not great. Now, if you want to bet on the Cowboys game, you will eventually be able to do it on BetUS. It's actually off book as we film this, but by the time the mailbag goes out, it'll probably be back on book. 125% deposit bonus, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. $100 down. You get an extra $125 for free on top of that. Boom. That's it. Cowboys will be favorites because it's probably going to be Jalen Hurts out, Gardner Minshew in. Nate Lopez, what's the news on Matt Waletzko? That's who you're referring to, the offensive lineman. He's out for the year. He had the shoulder subluxation that he tried to play through and get some just rest, not have surgery. Then he re-injured it, so he had the surgery. He's out for the year. I'm hoping next year he can beat out Josh Ball, who sucks. Aaron Martinez, how will they address the cornerback position next year? I would like to draft somebody early. I would like to go spend money in free agency, but I know how this team operates, so whatever. You gotta get help because I don't think Anthony Brown will be back. He's very cuttable, or he's a free agent, I should say. Jordan Lewis is probably gonna get cut because you save $5 million and Deron Bland can be your corner. It can be your nickel. I'm fine with that. But teams are not throwing at Diggs. They got to figure out something. The, of course, ideal outcome is Joseph or Wright bounce back, and then they get going. But not feeling confident right now on that one. Ruben Maynor, why are Cowboys fans criticizing Dak instead of supporting Fire McCarthy and more? It's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. That's why. It's the same thing with Tony Romo. I still remember, guys, when Tony Romo scores 50 against Denver, throws an INT because he gets stepped on, and it's Romo's fault the Cowboys lost that game. Not the defense getting cooked every chance, which kind of happened against Jacksonville here too a little bit, not quite as extreme. But when you score 34, we score a bunch of points. I know that the turnovers are bad, don't get me wrong, but you're scoring 35.5 points per game. You can throw 2 pick sixes, and you should still win. Seriously. You should still win those games. And, of course, it's not happening for Dallas. So it's the defense and coaching for me. Like, offense I'm fine with. I want to be better. You can be better. Like, if you play your A game, you're going to score 40 right now. But your defense is not – it's in the bargain. Depressed Cowboys fan. Good old Rowdy. He's a curse, by the way. F Rowdy in the comments section. Thoughts on the Jalen Hurts injury? Significant. I really wish you'd beaten the Jags or Packers because now you would have been like, we can win out and win the division because the Eagles might lose another game without Hurts. Now it's like, well, you'll probably beat Philly and yay, Dak owns NFCs, blah blah blah. But it's the backup. If you win, you're like, you beat the backup. If you lose, we're gonna be in shambles. As good as Minshew is in his first start of each season, like I would have felt better beating Jalen Hurts. I want to win no matter what, but this game is not nearly as, from a national perspective, this was going to be the game of the year. Now it ain't. From Dinkelberg's Revenge. Oh, actually, perfect timing. Can the Cowboys win the division? Technically, yes. If they win out and the Philadelphia Eagles lose out, the Dallas Cowboys win the division and probably, not a lock, by the way, but at least would give themselves a shot to get the number 1 seed, a bye, get healthy. Even if you beat Philly this week, the Eagles would then have to lose at home to the Saints, who They also want to win because that helps their own draft pick from New Orleans. Thanks, Mickey Loomis. And then you got to lose at home to the Giants to end the season. Probably not going to happen. I would say the Cowboys will eventually lock up, officially, potentially as soon as this week, the number 5 seed. And a trip, most likely, to Tampa, and you play the bad man, and I've been down this road before. So what is your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys right now? 1 to 10 is the scale. Let me know. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. JJ the Mime, thoughts on CeeDee Lamb? He's been really good for you lately. A couple clean, complete games in a row. He's over the 1,000-yard mark, his best year ever as a Cowboy. Couple mistakes early this year, some bad routes, miscommunication, whatever, but they're back. That Dak Lamb chemistry is real. Frankly, I need to see Kellen Moore get the ball to CeeDee Lamb more often. And I don't know if that's really going to be a case that the Cowboys will do, because you know what? Sometimes I just don't trust Kellen Moore. Carter Ramir, trade Dak for Aaron Rodgers. Jeremy, you can feel free to chime in here. Serious question. Would you do that trade? We're talking like for, obviously, after the season. Would you trade for Aaron Rodgers for Dak Prescott straight up?
No.
Jeremy is correct. You don't do it. Couple reasons why. Number one, Aaron Rodgers is old. He might retire in a year. There isn't time to have Aaron Rodgers get to fart around and be your guy, and like the timing does not work. Not only that, I'm pulling up my math here if I can find it. I have the numbers written down. You have to commit to Aaron Rodgers for multiple years at the type of contract that you're already paying Dak Prescott on top of that. So I'm finding the numbers here. Hold on. Aaron Rodgers numbers. His cap hit next year is $16 million, but only if his $58 million option for 2025 is picked up. If you decline that, the contract balloons to $60 million cap hit this year. So you're actually committing to him for $16 million and then $32 million and then $25 million in 2025 because the option bonus. And not only that, Dak Prescott has outplayed Aaron Rodgers this year, and he's younger. So, like, if you're promising me peak and prime Aaron Rodgers for the next 5-6 years, sure. You're not getting that, though. So the answer is no. I don't want Rodgers, not because he's not a Hall of Famer, but he doesn't help you enough right now, and I'm trying to win games right now. Put the score for me of Cowboys versus Eagles. Let me know in the comments section right now. From Brian Parson, hey, Tom, love the show. I respect your football IQ. I think you're way too biased when it comes to Dak. He is not top 10. I know you don't think he's top 10. I do think he's top 10. Now, I think you've got about 11 top 10 QBs right now, but we can kind of play the game, right? I do think Kirk Cousins, by the way, is underrated. But who are your obvious top 10 QBs, right? Josh Allen for sure. I think the way Tua's played this year is awesome. And I think even though it's only been 1 year, you put him in the top 10 conversation, probably in the same tier as Dak Prescott of like, these are your franchise guys, right? Mahomes is obviously a tier ahead. Herbert, I think it's funny how sometimes the arguments aren't applied equally, but he makes so many unreal throws. He's in there. It's not Derek Carr for me. I would have said Russell Wilson a year ago. I know Jeremy would have too. Not this version of Russ. Joe Burrow for sure. We had the Lamar convo outside of the cut earlier where, like, I think he's top 10 as well. I can't put Deshaun in there right now. Probably the same tier of, like, franchise guy, but, like, he's got 3 touchdowns all season. Like, that's not very good. 3 offensive touchdowns for the entire team. That's not good. I'm not putting Tannehill. I'm not putting whoever the Colts or Texans QB is. I think you can put Lawrence in there, especially long-term, because he's going to be good. He's in that same, like, young franchise quarterback tier. Say what? Mike White? No. I mentioned Tua already. I mentioned him. Not Daniel Jones. Not Heineke. I think Hurts is in that same tier of, like, these guys look like franchise guys. Hurts has been better this year, of course. I'm not putting Jimmy G in there. Geno's been actually really good this year, but he's a notch below Dak still. I would put Stafford in there, but if we're building this on, is it this year? Is it a career combination? Like, he's been injured all year. And, like, that neck back is kind of a big concern. I can't put Kyler in there. Kyler has never been better than Dak Prescott in his career. Kirk is just a notch below. Jared Goff's a notch below. put Rodgers in there still, but Dak's outplayed Rodgers, but it's Rodgers, so that's fine. Same with Brady. Kirk's a notch below. It's Brady. I actually think I forgot one, by the way, so it's 8. Hey, Kirk's been good, but the just slight notch below. Brady all time, of course, although he hasn't been the same guy this year either. Not Sam, not the Saints quarterbacks, and not Desmond Ridder. So you're at 9-10 if you're being generous. I think top 10 QB. And I can't not be high on a team that's averaging 35.5 points per game on offense. Big Phil, elite profile picture, by the way. What a potential more replacements? Mike McCarthy? Doug Nussmeier? If you're firing Kellen, by the way, I'm firing Mike too. I'm just going to dump them both. And I'm going to go get an outside offensive influence. Sean Payton. Ellis Grzinko, has Gallup lived up to his contract this year? No, not at all. Now, I'm hoping he gets healthier next year and plays better, but he has not been prime Gallup at all. Alex Cora, last one here. I want Sean Payton so bad. If you go one and done in the playoffs again, the Sean Payton buzz is going to be off the charts. And I know, by the way, for a fact that Sean Payton is very, very high on Dak Prescott, the quarterback. And frankly, outside of Justin Herbert, I don't think there's a different quarterback that he'd rather coach of the potentially available jobs. But still depends on it coming open. That's it for our mailbag. Any questions you have, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. My DMs are open.